I'm gonna reveal the only trade you need in order to hit 10K a month and break free from your 9 to 5 as well as the traditional lifestyle that you are trying to escape from. And if you master the skill that comes with this trade, you will be able to solve any problem in your own life to the point where other people come to you so you can solve their problems for them. And that's as powerful as a skill can get, guys. So let's talk about the only trade you will ever need, guys. So we won't talk about consistency today, even though that is the only trait you need to succeed in the long run. Because if you never quit, even if you don't see any results in the short term, you will never fail, guys. Consistency is what it's all about in terms of just succeeding in the game. But today we will talk about the only trait you need to actually make 10K a month. And that's a slightly different story. That's another character trait we want to discuss. So yeah, and this genuinely is the highest value skill you can obtain as a high-level entrepreneur, guys. And this trait is called creativity, guys. We can also call this craftiness or ingenuity, guys. And the skill to this character trait is called creative problem solving ability. And I know I'm throwing around many terms in here, but you just have to understand that the only trait you need is just being, crafty or like being creative. And the skill to the character trait is just the creative problem solving ability, guys, And I am going to explain this to you in simple terms. You need to figure stuff the fuck out. That's as simple as it can get. You need to be the guy being able to solve problems, right? You need to think outside the box. As an entrepreneur, you need to be able to find answers and solutions to every question and problem you have, guys. That's all that it's about. And sometimes you need to do things that have never been done before, So let's talk about why ingenuity or creativity is the best trait you need in order to make 10K plus a month, because that's what this video will be about, right? So yeah, let's get right into it, guys. At some time, you will need to stand out from your competition. There will be a time in which you need to come up with your own solutions and where just copying others won't work anymore, guys, because exact systems are going to get saturated, guys. Of course, if you see like a very new coach or like YouTuber who's teaching you something about copywriting like I do right now, if this guy is like a very little one and he's like pretty new to the scene, you can probably copy his systems, but in the long run, these systems are going to get saturated and you will have to come up with your own stuff. And if you don't learn to come up with your own stuff, you are going to get fucked in the long run because you are just a copycat, copying someone else's success. And this will maybe get you results in the short term, but never in the long term. So yeah. That's why I teach Be Different and Creative as the last lesson in my free Outreach Masterclass course, guys. In my free school, that's the last lesson I teach in there, so you just get creative and start innovating your own stuff. So yeah, the underlying concepts remain the same, like getting attention and giving value, like leading with value and stuff, but the execution and like the vehicle differs, like if you send looms, if you send like copy and stuff, the whole execution differs. So yeah, you have to come up with your own stuff, guys. And if you aren't able to come up with your own way of doing outreach, if you lack creativity and you can't think outside the box, you will definitely be left behind, guys. And that's as simple as it can get. Really understand that if you have this skill, guys, you will never fail. You will always find a way to make it work without having to rely on old techniques by gurus that don't even work anymore, So, for example, I know like from Tyson 4D back then, he was saying some stuff like, are you doing something with email already? And yeah, that's kind of pattern disruptive. It's very nice and, straight to the point, but it doesn't work anymore because everybody and his grandpa is doing it. So you need to innovate new stuff, guys, And this doesn't just go for business, guys, the whole being creative stuff. You can also be a creative, ruthless problem solver in other environments. For example, you can help out your family when it comes to solving problems, like, like fixing the phone of your mom, for example, or like repairing something in the kitchen. Of course, that's like more on the practical side of things instead of like the theoretical, like being creative. But you get the idea, right? It's you can solve problems for your family because you know how to solve problems in general, right? And that's a skill you learn by doing business. You can be the guy booking the flights for your whole friend group to another country, because you just know how to do it. You know how to go through the process of like identifying a problem or seeing something that needs to be done and actually doing the thing flawlessly, guys. You are extremely capable at delivering results or like finding solutions or like actually doing the thing. You know, you are like the no fluff master, and you are very good at like bringing the theory to life and actually like practicing the thing, like booking the flights, for example, right? And you find the best possible prices for that particular flights, right? Because you just understand how to solve problems and organize stuff to make it easy to understand for everyone. That's your whole skill. That's the creative problem solvability in every realm of human endeavor besides business, right? As business as well. So yeah. You take weight of all the human beings around you, like friends, family, whatever, business partners, you know. And this doesn't just make you extremely capable in the long run if you learn the skill of like creative problem solving ability. You also become extremely desirable, guys. Even if the people around you don't speak it out loud, you will help them lose stress and feel safer and more comfortable around you. Because if you are like next to them, they know, okay, stuff is going to be organized and stuff is going to be managed, you know. So it is very enjoyable to hang around a capable person, you know. You make them feel like the situation is under control. So if you become a great business problem solver, it transforms you into an extremely desirable human being that is respected and looked up to by the humans around you guys in pretty much every single thing, right? Depending on your expertise, of course. And yeah. So let's finally talk about how to develop the skill of creative problem solving ability, or like just how to get creative, right? How simply put it, becoming creative. First thing you need to do is just thinking more, guys. And I know this sounds simple, but this is key, guys. You need to be thinking more. Like put your phone in another room, you know, cut out all distractions, sit straight at your desk or something and just think without any kind of stimulation next to you, you know? Think openly. Ask yourself questions that go into different directions, you know, like really try to think outside the box. Secondly, try to hyper-analyze problems to get control over the situation, you know? Try to really think about anything, try to write it down and stuff to actually like get control. Thirdly, you brainstorm everything, you know? You try to really think in every single direction and write the possible solutions and ways down systematically, like point number one, or like I do, like firstly, secondly, thirdly, you know, like very systemized, you know? Write down. And lastly, you can also create mind maps to save your train of thought. And that's a very important concept, guys. It's the last one I want to touch on. So you need to understand that if you try to solve problems like just with your head, like when you, I don't know, like are going for a walk, chances are you are only going to think like 3 layers down. And after a particular stage, you are just going to get back to step number one. It's essentially like a circle, you know. You're always like running through the same thoughts all of the time, you know. And that's why you need to kind of incorporate like checkpoints or something, so you can actually like save your progress on the particular problem that you have thought about, you know, and start thinking again after you have like saved your checkpoints, so you get to like even deeper levels, right? So I'm going to give you an example for this. Let's say someone wants to lose weight. And his train of thought is something like, I need to go to the gym and, you know, look for the prices and stuff. And then I need to go study some different exercises and stuff. You know, he's thinking about like different exercises. And after a certain time, he is going to say something like, okay, now I will just keep on working right now, or like, like watching YouTube or whatever. And then he comes back to the thought, oh, actually, I need to go to the gym, or let me check the prices, you know, let me think about. He always comes just to the next stage because he never does some checkpoints, you know. He never saves his progress in his mind before actually taking action. So if you take action, of course the thing is going to be fulfilled and the checkpoint is made. But in terms of actually brainstorming and like mapping stuff out, if you only do it theoretically, you have to save your train of thought, guys, because otherwise, without putting action, you will only start off at like step number one every single time, and your mind will stop working because you are so deep into the game at like stage number 3. So you will never come deeper than that, you know. You always have to dig deeper, but you can only do this if you do like theoretical, like systemized kind of checkpoints in like a Notion doc or like Google Doc, whatever, to actually like start like where you left off, right? So yeah, that's very important to understand. And that's already it for the only trait you will ever need, guys. You know, that's everything you need to in order to become creative. And if you want even more value on copywriting, if you want direct access to me and stuff, there's a free 2-hour outreach masterclass, like a free school of mine in the bio. Essentially, I teach how you get 4 to 8 a client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work and if you already have the service delivery side of things figured out, because this outreach is very kind of intense. You know, you have to know what you're doing. But also, you can ask me questions in there. I will review your looms, review the copy you send to people, and it's almost like a paid mentorship because I just answer your questions in there. And you know, there are only 118 people in there. This will grow to like even 1,000 people. So you are still early. Join in there and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.